Live. We've got something a little different for you today. We don't have the glasses like John talked about, but we are actually on the road. All of us are away from our home states. Real quick, I want to say some hellos. Pardon me, I'm going to be watching the chat here since we don't have the standard streaming setup. Sickness 23 Dragon Lair, Zen Ginger, T-Bone, Miss Fever, of course. Danikin Aquatics is in the chat as well. Petzotics Multiple Aquariums, good to see you as well. Appreciate you being here. John Cox, Rockford Fish Keeping, all sorts of awesome people. Joanna Batista. Scroll through here. One Dirty Platty. I think I'm almost there. Chattanooga Ed talking to people. And I think John is probably done at this point. Chewy LTD, Scott's Aquatics, Anthony's Fishy Friends, William Pridemore, GRB Aquatics. If I missed anybody, my apologies. Thank you all for being here. So before we get into the first part of tonight's discussion, if you all would just let me know that the audio is okay. The mic is a little bit further away than we normally have it, but I think we'll be good because it is a Rode, so it's a decent quality microphone. I haven't seen anything regarding sound in the chat, so I think we're good. I do have with me tonight Kenny E from Danikin Aquatics.
Yes, we are here.
Kenny E. And Chattanooga Ed.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I appreciate you both being here. Of course, with us all in the same hotel room, there's,
Yeah, I'm bound to be here, I guess.
Absolutely. So, before we get into what we're doing here in the hotel room and where we're at and all that stuff, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got going on? Because you're on this awesome adventure, dude.
I have been on a 3-week absolute dream deal. First off, I got to see my family, which was great. But secondly, I started off this about 3 weeks ago. Started in Seattle. Got to go see Jason with Redfish, Bluefish out on the island. And then I went straight from there, went to Billings, Montana, got to meet Candy Overhauls.
Oh.
Which I'm like, yeah, I got to meet Candy.
The elusive Candy
But
Overhauls.
it's one of those rides that just keeps on going and going. So then from there I went to Dan's Fish, got to meet Dan, got video of his entire facility. And then from there I was supposed to meet Pam. That's the only taboo thing that happened on this trip is I missed Pam. But it was a funny deal there. She was taking photos so she could try to have stuff to take paintings of. And she sent me a photo and she circled my big red truck. She was looking right at me when she took the photo.
Oh, man.
It's no big deal. We're going to see, my wife's going to for sure see her. And we're still debating if I'm going to go to the family, the Fish Fam camping trip. Then from there, I went to Priscilla down in Boulder, Colorado. And then from there, I went to Peplin Creek Aquatics out in Wisconsin.
Now, you're getting video / already have some video up on these things, right?
It's all that's been shown is the live feed so far.
Okay.
My wife and I plan to edit the videos, and we're going to start putting those out slowly over the next week or two.
Very nice.
Danny insisted that I go away from the Kenny way, where I like the raw, natural look. She wants to be able to play with it. I'll give her that.
Well, that's awesome.
And then from Peplin Creek, we went to my dad's. I had an awesome week of fishing, caught like 100+ stripers in 3 or 4 days. And then from there, I went to Mom's. And then I went, while at Mom's, I shot an awesome little mom and pop. It's called Michelle's Exotic Pets.
Okay.
They're in Roscoe, Illinois.
Nice.
Had a great time with those guys. Very cordial people. Awesome, awesome people. So we had a good time there. And then from there, where were we at there? We were in, what state are we in now?
Yeah.
Well, okay, your mom?
Yeah, I went from my mom. So then I went to
Cody's
Son down in Davenport, Iowa. And then I went from Davenport, Iowa, and that's where it got fun again. I went up to Lucas Arbrett's. I mean, that guy, his fish room is amazing.
Yes.
Had a ball. And then he showed me how a couple of tricks on my camera. And then from Lucas, I went down to Tennessee. Or excuse me, no, we skipped one. We went down to Kentucky, saw Griffin Fish Room. And then I made it to you and Ed on
Terry.
Oh, Catfish Terry. God, see, you guys are helping me. Now, guys, keep in mind, in the last day and a half, I think, what am I on? Like 3.5 hours total for
sleep? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I just charged my batteries. I slept
I still haven't
hours.
charged mine. I
And it
am
was
on an
awesome.
hour's sleep. So from Catfish Jerry, then we finally made it to Chattanooga and James here. Well, I met those guys in Ed's place, and we had a great dinner. And what did we stay up the first night, like till 2:30 again? But Ed knew we were going here, and thank God one of us set an alarm. He got us up at 3 a.m. to come to Father Fish, and that's where we're at today.
Yes.
Why don't you tell them about today? It was awesome.
We had a lot of fun. Of course, getting to meet Father Fish for the first time, getting to tour Father Fish Aquarium, his pet store here in Venice, Florida. And then we got to do some wild fish collecting. And that was awesome. I think I ended up up to my neck at one point and just loving every minute of it.
Yeah, he was definitely in his neck at least. I mean, his beard went under. I saw it.
And his bucket went sideways.
Yeah, because he had so many fish in it.
Oh, yes. So real quick, I want to say thank you, John and Lisa, for sending people over with the hashtag honey. And then we had a super sticker, Grumpy Mike's Fish, with the $5 cute fox saying hiya. Grumpy Mike, I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the super sticker. Always a pleasure to see you and talk to you, my friend. So yeah, if you all have any questions, feel free to throw them in there. We also will be taking questions, of course. But it's been an adventure for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
We go, usually once a month we go somewhere, but you've been doing it solid for a while now.
3 weeks, and by the time I make it back to my beautiful Lake Danny, I'll be on the road 5.5 weeks or something like that.
Oh wow. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. Go check out the live streams because he's live streamed all of these people that he's met, and that's some awesome stuff if you've not seen it. And be on the lookout for the fish room tour videos and the LFS tour videos.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be out soon. So I'm gonna start editing it. Danny, if we could figure out a way to get him to her,
Right.
I would have already started it, but she's having issues with being able to download it. So I think it's something I'm gonna have to download when I get home and just start. The good news, she's leaving almost immediately, so I'll have time to play with it a little bit.
There you go.
But I prefer her to do it because it's her gig, but I don't want to wait that long.
I may have a way for you to do that.
What?
You could download it, the whole thing on StreamYards, and then let her pull it up from StreamYards and edit it.
Oh, we can do that?
Yeah, and just keep it private the whole time.
Oh, perfect.
James has helped me do that before because I needed help editing
You can
something.
do it unlisted straight to YouTube. Yeah. Chris, we know our buddy Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction, with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Chris. Says, just wanted to say hi to my 3 favorite guys.
Aw,
So,
appreciate that, Chris.
wish you could be here, buddy. It's been a blast. And we're going tomorrow to the saltwater side of things. Today
They're
we
gonna
were,
collect the salt
yeah,
water.
we were freshwater collecting today. We're going to do the saltwater side tomorrow and hopefully get in a tour of Father Fish Aquarium store. There were 2 live streams you can check out. There was a live stream from Daniken Aquatics and also one from Father Fish, where you get to see me in the water with a giant pole with a net on it, falling and catching fish and just having a grand old time. So if you want a good laugh and want to see some neat wild fish collected, you can check those
And
out.
he collected a bunch. He got
I
some
did.
pretty cool species too. How many different? You probably got 8.
I know at least 5.
Well, I know between the 2, I think you guys ended up with about 8.
I believe it.
And that
I wore out. My back can't handle that much twisting. And so my back broke down after about
James
30 minutes.
he did get a warmouth today that was just gorgeous. I mean, it didn't have red eyes. So I don't think it was a rock bass. I
Right.
think that's a warmouth, and if that's what I think it is, it's going to have these amazing blacks and yellows going through it.
Wow.
They're really a cool fish.
Then we have the bluefin killie.
Bluefin killies, the
What's
yellow top. What did they call those? Yellow top.
the yellow top minnows or yellow top?
Yellow top minnow. That's it.
And then Findalis?
Fidelis,
Yeah.
and then the
What was-
darters.
Yeah.
And what was the purple perch?
That one, I
think it was awesome looking. It was my favorite one, but they said it gets about 6 inches, and I don't want
It's
it.
another type of panfish, and it's purple, but they didn't have like kind of a reddish tint going through too.
It was really neat. It was-
So yeah, they got some pretty cool stuff. Danny, I will tell you, unfortunately, out of all the nets we had, we found out that they don't have the pygmy sunfish in this particular area.
I tried. I thought I got you one, and it turned out to be one. So
It
I'm
ended up
sorry
being
about that.
somebody dumped jewels in this pond, African jewels. I said, we probably don't need those. We
Oh, and there were wild shrimp too.
got wild shrimps, and those were like clear, weren't they, James?
Yeah, they were
Those
clear with
shrimps.
slightly a yellowish tone to some of them. So we got some of those in there.
And I didn't even realize there was shrimp, and I may have been just dumping
Now
them back.
tomorrow's gonna be the day, and if James and Ed were like they were today, I mean, we're probably gonna end up with some pretty cool species.
Well, this poor guy, somebody had mentioned an 8-hour drive. This poor guy had to drive 10 hours straight on like 2 hours of sleep. So he was kind of tuckered out. So I was trying to get enough for 3 people. So I was
Yeah.
going crazy on it. But yeah, hopefully we can really knock it out of the park tomorrow.
But I got a
So-
shower, and now I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. So
Yes.
tomorrow's it's on. I'm collecting with James. I brought my snorkel gear. Compliments of Miss Danny. She got me a killer snorkeling gear. So
We did have, there it is. Nate had a fishy question for us. Had started a guppy colony 2 years ago with the trio, and I've been losing about 3 females a week. All other fish are thriving, just losing females. Males are fine, and is this normal?
Well, females do pass away when they're having lots of babies.
Yeah,
It's just kind of a bummer, you know.
yeah. That's-
So it's pretty hard on their bodies. But boy, if you're losing them nonstop like that, you're going to run out of females. I don't
Well-
think you'd normally lose that many.
I mean, it is possible if you got them all at the same time from the same place that they're all at the same end of their lifespan potentially. That would be my first thought on.
Well, he said a trio. Is that it? So
Maybe.
2 males or 2 girls and a boy,
Yeah.
and so now he's losing their fry.
Well, he says I started a guppy colony 2 years ago with the trio. So I would assume after 2 years he's got more than the trio in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Um,
if he's losing 3 females,
Yeah.
that'd be the whole trio. But I don't know. Maybe make sure what you're feeding them too. I mean, make sure they're getting plenty. You know, just like a woman needs lots of vitamins and everything when she's making babies. You want to make sure you're feeding them, the female,
Yeah.
something good.
Yeah, it could definitely be a nutrient deficiency. I don't really know of anything else that would cause just the females to all crash out, especially if they're different generations of females that you're losing. You know, if they're all around the same age range, then they could be getting to the end of their lifespan. Guppies don't have the longest lifespan. So that's possible.
how long is it, by the way? I've never even.
I mean, sadly, a lot of times it's around 2 years. They can
Okay.
stay a lot longer, but you know, the harder you breed them or the more you breed them, the warmer you keep them, the more that you shorten their lifespan. So it could possibly just be like Ed mentioned, but there could be something else, but I don't know anything else besides the nutrient deficiency that would affect just the females.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, all all living things, females will give up their body to produce their young. So feed them something good.
Yeah, you could definitely try that. See if you can get them maybe a higher protein food.
Yeah, or you can also separate them, so maybe they're not being stressed by boys being chased
Yeah.
around. If you keep losing females, there's going to be more boys
Boys.
to girls, and then the girls are going to be even more stressed, and they're pregnant. Separate them, you know, so that way they're not being stressed when they're having their fry.
Absolutely. Bill Witt, yes, we left leeches. We didn't have to deal with any leeches. Thank goodness.
Yeah, no leeches.
Rockford Fish Keeping, yes, that was Roscoe, Illinois. I was in Rockford. That's why I reached out to you a few times, my friend. That's why I was letting you know I was in Rockford. That's my hometown. And yeah, I was there for about a week.
So fortunately, we've got some people with the answers in the chat because the 3 of us are still kind of tuckered out. It was Golden Top Minnow, said John Cox, and then we had Dragon Lair somewhere that was saying the other fish. I'll see if I can find that real quick. But I do want to say thank you very much to all the moderators. I appreciate you all and all the hard work you do.
Did you say there were darters? There were some darters too. That was pretty neat.
Where did it go? I'll try and find it again. There we go.
Darters is right. That was the other one was darters.
Yeah, but I don't think we actually got any. I think the one guy
Frank
caught
did.
one, but it got away.
I thought he caught a couple more.
Yeah, I
Did
think
he catch
caught
some more?
like 3.
I was so like.
Yeah, you were in there, dude.
The darters were real cool.
By
They
then
had like
you were
a
up
white-
to your
a red
neck in
stripe,
water.
I think, down their back.
Nice.
They're real neat little guys.
And then Dragon Lair said, James, that was a shadow bass, same genus as rock bass, but a different species, not a warm-up.
Not a warm-up. Okay.
Man, when I get some real sleep, I'm gonna have to rewatch that stream.
Yeah.
They were talking about Jason and I woke up, redfish, bluefish, and I remember saying something, oh yeah, that's about Jason. And I fell back asleep. I don't even know what I was talking about. I was so out
What
of
is
it.
what I'm talking about here?
Oh, he's talking about with the guppies, kind of like Ed mentioned, the male to female ratio.
Oh,
If you've got too many males stressing the females out, that can definitely do it. We had somebody else as well that mentioned that. John Cox said too many males to the number of females. Get through here. I appreciate you all bearing with us tonight. Normally, you know, we've got our actual studio setups and multiple monitors and all that stuff. Tonight we're playing it, you know, fast and loose here with the phones, trying to keep up with the chat. Chevy Fish says, personally, I would check with pH. Did not catch any Florida flagged fish, GRB.
Yeah.
now that's strange. I would have thought we would have been there.
And Priscilla says, everyone tell James I need some of the shrimp. I think I only got about 6. So, I don't know, maybe I can
Frank
get
caught
them.
like 2 or 3.
Did he? So, we'll see. We didn't actually get a good look at what we collected. We left from there. Father Fish was kind enough to take them back to his facility. And then we came straight to the hotel. So, we'll get to actually see them in some tanks tomorrow.
It was pretty cool though. While you were doing that, Frank was explaining every one to me and putting them in my hand
Oh, nice.
and everything. Yeah, I got to look at them. Pretty cool.
Very nice.
We got some
Except
good
I don't
shots
remember
on
any
it.
of it.
Both Father Fish and I I've got good shots of them in my hand on that live stream. So.
Very cool. And see, I was just playing in the water with a big net.
And you know, that was high fun and action. But before that, we had a great time too at Father Fish's. He set us, well, didn't set us up, but he put us to work. And he bought a whole mess of cool plants. And these are plants that I don't see in my local store. Did you see those in your locals? They were neat.
You're asking Kenny
Okay.
if I
You didn't see the kabamba that I put in the far end, but it's got
Ooh.
some nice purples to it. So I'm going to get several bunches. We're going to get a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
want-
plants tomorrow from Father Fish.
Actually, I was looking at some of the kabamba. I wanted to get some kabamba, and I love that, man. It is such a pretty plant, and it does really, really well under, you know, medium light, and I easy green it, and it does great in my tanks, and it's like a super fry plant, I think, and just looks cool.
and it had that moss ball that was like
A 1 pound moss ball.
I had to rip it up. I mean, I planted plants today, guys. I'm feeling pretty cocky. I planted plants today.
He went from, I'm not a plant guy to, I got this. I don't even need the tweezers.
We had fun with it. We actually had, at that time, we were all toast. I mean, we were all
yeah.
pretty toasty.
Yeah.
We hadn't eaten since, what was it, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning?
About 4.
And this is like, what,
And
4
that
in
was-
the afternoon?
Running off of egg McMuffins.
Yeah.
It's not
Egg
even
McMuffins
high
with-
quality food at all.
So Streetwise is asking, Kenny, what's your travel vehicle for this journey?
2016 Ford F-150 Crew Cab Long Bed with an EcoBoost 3.5.
It's nice. It is a nice ride. Very comfortable. Rockford's saying, Daniken, never saw you try to hit me up. My bad. Eyes are bad and hard to read chat. If you guys are ever over here again, hit me up. I'll try to send email through YouTube.
Excellent, Rockford. I would love to meet you, man.
And then Sirlin Snow says, I have a 10-inch common pleco. How much and what is the best thing to feed it to make it grow faster? It's in a 60-gallon with 4 large goldfish. That is a poop factory of the highest caliber there. 4 goldfish with a 10-inch common pleco. Generally speaking, common plecos will eat more than most people are feeding them, and more than what just about anybody is actually feeding them. And there are several people, John's talked about it, Corey from Aquarium Co-op. They are pigs and are usually underfed. Usually underfed by a lot. Typically, what I feed my common plecos is simply feeding additional food. Like, so if I've got tetracolor granules, for example, that I'm feeding that tank with the common pleco in there, I feed enough to get some down to the bottom for that common pleco. Of course, algae wafers are a good thing. Green beans, if you haven't tried green beans, I've yet to find plecos that don't enjoy green beans. Aquarium Pal, thank you for sharing the stream. I appreciate that, my friend.
How you doing, Kyle?
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
Now, what about zucchini? I grow a lot of zucchini,
I've not tried it
and
yet.
I've been thinking it looks like a cucumber.
Right.
I mean, it tastes better.
Now, the common plecos, I found too, a lot of people don't know, they're a little kind of, they like a little meat in their diet.
Oh yeah.
They'll go up and get the cichlid pellets off the top. I mean, they'll eat some meat, those guys.
Yep. I've seen them munch down on, frozen bloodworms that hit the
yeah.
bottom, brine shrimp, any of that stuff that hits the bottom. So typically, if you were trying to grow them out, I would say get some stuff in there that either your goldfish don't care to eat or more than what your goldfish are going to eat so that that guy can get to it. Another thing would be feeding at night, where he's more likely to come out and eat it if you have one that doesn't like to come out during the daytime, because they're typically nocturnal for the most part.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the pleco guy, but I know a lot of plecos like wood in their tank too.
A lot of them do like wood to rasp on.
Does a common pleco like to suck on? I gotta
Mine.
chew on the wood.
Rasp. Rasp is the word you're looking for. No, I very rarely see my commons rasping. I do try and keep wood in with all of them so they have that option to rasp and help with their digestion. But in terms of growing them bigger, I guess you could potentially call it a factor.
I mean, I don't know why they do it, but I don't know if it's some type
I
of
know the
minerals.
Minnesota love wood.
Yeah, most of them do. And then you get into some that are more carnivorous, like the zebra plecos. You're not really going to find them rasping wood. The vampires, the snowballs, I don't really find rasping wood. I try and keep wood in with all of them.
No, the Royals like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Royals are sawmills. They will chew up a piece of driftwood in no time. So hopefully that helps. So try some of those specific food suggestions. Try feeding at a different time when the goldfish aren't as likely to eat it. And then feed a little bit more, but not so much that you're going to have food rotting on the bottom. You want to kind of test, what your pleco is willing to eat, because you don't want to leave a bunch of stuff in there to, give you an ammonia spike and screw up your tank. So I hope that helped. Bob's jabbing at your raggedy red Ford truck. Miss Fever with the $2 super chat says, James and Ed are Guppyholics, but what's Kenny E? So we're guppy guys. We're hardcore on the guppies. What's your thing, Kenny?
I am cichlid guy, man. Almost any kind of cichlid I love. But my wife has been getting me, and then after being it, I'll tell you guys right now, when I went to LRB's, he's made me a rainbow believer, man.
He will do that.
Those rainbows in the morning, he cracks me up. We stayed up till, I was up every day with him till 3 too, but one night we stayed up, he knew that these guys were going to flash because he just did a water change, so he made the tank super pretty. So when we came on that morning, and the big rainbow tank, did you guys see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, those things flashed all these brilliant colors. It was like, I'm like, how are they doing that? But
well, I got a question for you, because I watch your show a lot. You got them awesome mud skippers.
I love those guys too.
Where do they stack up? Because
They're
cool.
in my top 5.
Okay.
I mean, they're up there quite a bit. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in front of them. But if I had to put an order in my fish room, guys, I'll be honest. Oscars are my top. I love my Oscars. Susie was up there at the top, but she passed on me. And then we have to call her Drogonette now because it's not a male like we thought. That one that bit me, the Black Nasty. But the mud skippers are right there too.
Well, I think we've got a new member. I didn't see it pop up, but unless you have changed your name, SandMouse350 Twin, I appreciate you becoming a member. And it says, I'm watching this on my phone and Xbox. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated. Welcome to the team. Again, it may be somebody that changed their name, but if it's not, it's a new name to me. So I appreciate you becoming a member. When you get a chance, be sure to check out the members only videos. We do a lot of cool stuff behind the scenes there, so I hope you enjoy it. And also, be sure to use the members only emojis in the chat and in your comments if you want to.
You guys, when you guys were going through Father Fish's store, and it is an awesome store.
It is. It's amazing.
He has put a lot of time also on the exterior. Walking into the place looks amazing. He has this awesome mural that he painted on the front of it. He's got like a rowboat, but it's not like a a fat rowboat, but some type of long, speedy rowboat or something. Maybe they would kill whales in or something. You know, not kill whales. I shouldn't have. But you know, like they jump out of the ship and they would.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool thing. But he's turned it into an outdoor pond. So the boat is the pond, and he's got some just amazing plants growing in there. He's got chairs, so you can just sit in front and hang out in his at his place. It is neat.
And like Ed said earlier today, because we both had noticed, I think all three of us, the way he has that open feel. Like what it reminded me of is like a Caribbean. If you were in the Caribbean, an open air market is what it reminded me.
Exactly
We had like garage doors that come up in the back, so that the wind and everything can just go right through.
Mm-hmm. Then he had those ponds with those huge red tails in there. I mean,
Yeah.
we gotta shoot a little bit. I don't know how we're gonna find time to do it, but we gotta shoot there too. I gotta shoot Ed's place. I gotta do like. Unfortunately, I don't get to do James's this trip, but.
Well, the next time you get around, it'll be better because I have 31 tanks that are all empty. So we'll have over 90 tanks by the time you get back around this way. So that should be enjoyable. John Cox's Fisherman Fever, I want some of those spotted gambusia. Yeah, I'm hoping. So we've got to get back and see exactly what all we've got. Fortunately, we had one of the, and not sponsored, not a brand ambassador, but we had one of the co-op USB pumps that we were able to throw in the bucket because one of the bucket we did start to have some die off. I guess I was
the water was really hot today.
Yeah, it really was.
And so that's going to bring the oxygen levels down. And
yep.
I mean, when I stepped in it, it felt like almost in a hot tub.
It was. That's part of why I kept going down to my neck because that water was cooler down at the bottom there when I got a little bit deeper. But we've got to see exactly what we've got when we get out there tomorrow.
Which survived basically. Because that water was hot.
And so I think we've got some decent setups to where there can be some breeding going on back in the fish room. That's what I'm hopeful for. My goal when I was in there, I was trying to get males and females of all the different things we were catching. So
I just
we'll
want
find out tomorrow.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, I hope it works out because with the effort you put in, you better get some fish out of this deal.
Just the enjoyment of doing it.
Now keep in mind, guys, we were all tuckered out on the side of the shore, and James was in there for, what would you say, at least 20 minutes longer, just going like a madman. It was awesome to watch.
I felt bad. I kept going, do you all want me to get out?
No.
Because they're all sitting there on the shore, and I'm like, I felt like I was holding up the party, but I was having so much fun.
It was actually comfortable.
Yeah, I couldn't twist anymore because my back was so sore. So I was happy just sitting Indian style on the ground and watching. You just had to make
But
sure
you
you
were
didn't
in there for a good 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Wow.
Yes, you guys were. He was in for probably an hour and a half.
And I was doing the hard attack with the first net, and I kind of broke it. So I lost my big net and had to go with a little net. But I figured out how to catch them with that one. That one I was going underneath the lily pads and pulling. And it worked.
It was fun, yeah. And I tried both methods. I tried the down and back up, and then I tried the dragging the bottom because we wanted to try and get to some of the darters. We had good results. Priscilla, I don't know what the fish are, but what the shrimp are, but as soon as I find out, I will let you know. Chevy Fish says that one fish with the dot in its center looked to be a juvenile Florida flagfish. So
Father Fish is calling those jewels, Chevy. He says they're a type of African jewel.
So we will
research.
I ought to see what fish we caught that's small enough that could be with my, because I've got Florida flagfish. So maybe I should get like something that'll go well with them.
Yeah, it's part of his region, so
yeah.
You got a ton of fish. I don't think there's anything that I plan to ship. So you guys are.
Well, at the time I was just thinking, I'm a live bear guy. And so I'm just thinking, I'm just having fun.
What I thought about what we could do tomorrow, that's a good, inexpensive way where we should be able to get them home, is a styrofoam cooler. Because it stays nice and heat.
If we bag them, yeah, because they tend to leak water, the styrofoam does.
Does it?
The ones that, if they haven't.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just going like this, I don't know. I'm just here.
Cooler would be the bomb if we could find a decent cooler.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you Father Fish has to have coolers.
Probably, yeah. I think we left like 4 at Chattanooga Heads.
Yeah. We
We were left at 3 in the morning. I would have loved to have had a camera on that.
You know, we should have. I've got like a web thing that we could have put across the back of your truck.
I got that in the truck now.
Oh, okay. Well, we could have grabbed a styrofoam and thrown it in there. Oh well.
And we've got several people on the Common Plecos talking. Oh, well, okay. I'm going to butcher your name, and I'm sorry. I tend to butcher your name every time that it pops up. Shally? I'm going to go with that, and I'm sorry. I'm sure I butchered it. It says my Common Plecos have been eating a lot of my duckweed. Well, that's awesome. I feed them green beans and zucchini too. So there you go.
Oh, all right, zucchini.
And then we've got several people. Roxanne Power says my Common Pleco loves zucchini. Holly Gibbs says mine loves zucchini. Somebody else had mentioned green beans. I think I'm getting super far behind, and I apologize. We've got 94 people in here, and I appreciate you all bearing with us. We're technically challenged, if you will, on the studio setup. Damian Markham says Common Pleco is responsible for more carnage than it gets credit for. Yeah, and they get big. And I wasn't going to go into that whole thing about a common and a 60 and the goldfish, but I would definitely watch your water parameters. I'm just going on the assumption that you know what you're doing and you know that you've got a poop factory going there.
And an answer, hold on, I did see one that came in for me, James, for that lady that was asking me. We do still have our discus. Keep in mind, we have almost 70 tanks, and they asked me what are my favorite. If you watch my channel, they're all my favorite, but they put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Obviously, our discus are way up there too. I've got about 7 or 8 discus.
So we've got a question for you, Ed. Fantastic Freak says, heard you were doing fantasy football. Got any open spots?
We got 2 spots. Fantastic, you got one. Contact me at Chattanooga Ed on Facebook. If you're my friend already, that's awesome. If you're not, friend me and then contact me. And do it tonight. I need your email. We got to get these in tonight because we're not going to do the draft tomorrow night. We're going to do it Saturday. Is that all right? From your aunt, he'll be at his aunt's house, and we're going to do it.
Night?
When do you think you'll be able to get to your aunt's house?
I'll have to look it up. But yeah, let's plan Saturday night.
I have to have 24 hours before I can set the draft, but we have to do it kind of soon because Danikin, or I keep calling Kenny Danikin.
I'm Danikin, whatever. That's because you've always called me Danikin.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it, whatever.
Well, I also like calling you Kenny E. But that's normally my opening for you. Then you become Danikin. But yeah, we need to do the draft soon. You can do just a live draft. We've got 8 awesome guys. If you can put your name in as your fantasy name as your YouTube name, so that way we know who you are when you get your invite, that'd be cool, even though we're down to only 2 more spots, so we'll probably figure it out.
So
bring it.
T-Bone had asked, do you guys have fish conventions like there are firearms conventions? Yes. There are also, somebody else answered this as well. More commonly are the club or the group swaps. But then we do also have typically big events like...
we have top tier ones,
yeah,
which would be probably Aquashella and Aquatic... what was AE? Aquatic Experience.
Yep.
That one has been canceled for the time being, but they're thinking about bringing it back, I hear. But right now it's like a big pet expo that's going to be in California. But there's a few mega ones, but then there's clubs that have big ones like the Keystone Clash, the Big Fish Deal. I'm sure they got them on the East Coast. You know, they have these.
And you got the
really
ACA.
Cool, yeah, they've got some great weekend ones. And then also like the ACA Sticklets, but there's also the IFGA. That's the guppies, the international guppies. So and then they do shows, or they don't really. Well, they do a show, but they also do like where it's a judging, where people all over America will send their guppies, and there will be like 500 little mini tanks of guppies. It is so neat. And they all get judged.
And he's closing me on guppies just talking about it right
yeah.
now.
Oh my gosh, it's so much
what
fun.
he did to me.
And like, well, and it's broke into regions. And like we're in the South, so ours is called the Deep South. Even though I think there's a Florida, which would be a lot deeper south than us. But so it's all the different breakdowns. There's a New England one that's huge. But so like every month there's a different meet throughout America. And so, you know,
America.
yeah. And then there's also plant ones. So you guys had a big plant one up there.
Yeah, that is the Aquatic Gardeners Association.
I would love to go to that.
That was cool. Well, it was cool until I got the bill, but it was cool. You guys remember who I'm married to? She went nuts up there, but we did also Aquatic Gardener Association. Everybody thinks immediately it's just plants. We got peacock gudgeons that week, and we got some cool fish out of it too. It's not as common, but they're there.
So I'm going to burn through a couple of comments real quick. I see a big bubble up at the top I'm going to address here in just a moment. Rockford says Fisherman Fever jewels are now wild in Florida. I believe it. There's so much stuff that's now wild down here. Did James bring his bra? No, I didn't bring any of the props. I don't have the feather boa. For those of you that haven't been here before, usually with the super chats, I've got party poppers and big goofy glasses and a feather boa and all sorts of fun props that we use.
We could splash it with water.
I guess you could.
He's had a lot of water this
Now,
weekend.
Kenny's in the middle, so
Yeah.
you know what? Him too.
He only brought so much clothes, and he already got a half of it soaked. So we better not.
Yeah, that'd be his last outfit. That would not be cool.
And yes, we are going salt collecting tomorrow with Father Fish to address that.
Pygmy seahorses, guys. We're gonna go.
Oh yes.
And pipefish. There's a chance for a pipefish.
One of the other cool freshwater fish that you can get here are called freshwater flounders. And so it's a freshwater fish with two eyes on the same side.
Yep.
I would love, that would be so cool. Frank was telling us that you can find those in streams out here.
That would be very, very cool. JP Pets, I'm going to answer your question, but real quick, I want to say Moonstone Aquatics. Kim, thank you very much. You are awesome. Moonstone Aquatics throwing a $25 super chat, says Fish Fam right there. You are the best. Thanks for being so cool, guys. Moonstone, you're the best. I mean, awesome. I appreciate the super chat. You're an awesome member, a huge supporter. I think this shirt at one point or another may have been yours even. So
Moonstone,
Yeah.
got me this.
I mean, you're the best. So thank you. I
This,
appreciate
believe
it.
it or not, James made it. She was gracious enough to donate. I don't know how many shirts of yours she got, but she donated this to Greater Portland Aquarium Society.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so-
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I should have
just
worn mine.
found
That
that
would have
out,
been
so thank
Now,
you.
me being the guy I am, I of course snatched up every one that was on the table. Because I knew what it was.
So JP Pet says, if you were to set up a 40 breeder display, what would you stock it with? Really want Africans, but they get a little big. Who would like
Well,
to
you
go
can get
first?
some little Africans, though.
Yeah.
They get mean, but you can get.
So I guess we should preface with every person has a varying favorite of what their, what fish they prefer.
I missed some of the question. I'm sorry.
I own one 40 breeder.
Yeah.
I own 140 breeder, and he has a dragon puffer in it.
So I have, I guess, 340 breeders, because one of them is really a sump. One is a snowball pleco colony that I have. Currently, Tetris is ditherfish, but it's about to be a guppy strain. My other 40 breeder is guppies, and then a variety of. I've got a green phantom and a blue phantom pleco growing. I'm a pleco guy, and then Ed has turned me into a guppy guy. But you could do some really nice. We think Apistogramma cockatoides are awesome if you're looking for that kind of stuff.
A 40 gallon. The 40 breeder is like a perfect tank. I love that tank.
Shell dwellers.
It's
I
great.
mean,
Shelley's would go great in there.
It really
Yeah.
depends on what
Even
type
though
of fish
it's
you
a
enjoy.
tall tank, and Shelly's might stay more at the bottom.
But then it gives you a reason to get the Siptos at the top. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go.
Yep.
Absolutely. You can
The
do
40s are really cool. I
the
love
little
that tank.
rams. I mean, if you're asking what I would do, just to know what I would do, I would set it up with. Then my other 40 breeder has the zebra pleco colony and the blue dream shrimp from LRB Aquatics.
Ooh.
So I think the colors on those.
That it's got to be.
Yeah, especially once those shrimp breed out, and yeah,
How far are you from it?
about an hour and a half.
The opposite way you need to
Yeah.
go. That's
Yeah,
the
so
problem.
3
That's what's been
total.
going on this whole trip,
Yeah.
man. But
But
And you
Zebra
can see,
Plecos, Blue Dreams from Lucas. That sounds like a combo.
and there's some fantastic pet stores in his town too.
There
Fish
are.
stores.
Anything else you all want to add to that one?
The Candy I see is busting me out, saying I liked her guppies as well. I'm not saying, guys, I don't like them. It's just I don't know enough about them.
What type of guppies does Candy have?
Candy, help me.
It would be so cool to have a trio of Candy.
Candy's got a lot of cool fish.
Candy guppies. And you could name them Candy guppies.
Yeah.
And they'd be famous guppies.
So I want to address this question real quick, not just because it's from Miss Fever, but because it plays into an important thing that Kenny and I have talked a lot about. Miss Fever is asking if we were staying on this channel tonight. Typically, we would be switching over to Chattanooga Ed's channel after an hour and doing the second hour on his channel. However, he doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet, which is crazy because everybody knows him. He's all over the place. He's one of the coolest guys in the fish fam. So I would ask you all, if you're not subscribed to Chattanooga Ed, check his channel out. He's got, his fish room's prettier than mine is. He's got an amazing setup, but he's a really cool guy.
I don't have a lot of it on there yet.
Yeah, so
I've been like holding it back for it to get done.
Guys, I was in this fish room. This thing is meticulously done. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Well, I appreciate that.
All he needs to do, and which we both have told him, what does he need to do? You need to shoot that room.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
but seriously, guys, he's no joke. This guy loves fish probably as much as anybody in the hobby, and he takes it very seriously.
But I do like to joke.
He does.
What you get with him
more of
on
a
these
goofball.
streams is what you see in person, and he's constantly making us laugh. I think that's why the drive wasn't that unbearable.
The drives are awesome.
We had a ball all the way here.
It's
so.
basically just an unpublished live stream when
Yeah.
we're in the car together.
Yeah. And his different stories. I mean, I had a ball with his. I mean, Ed could literally tell you stories from Chattanooga, Tennessee, all the way to Fatherfish.
Yep.
Which was a 10-hour drive.
I fell asleep for about 45 minutes. I felt terrible. My eyes were burning so bad. I put on my sunglasses and I was like, I wonder if I could just talk with my eyes shut for a while. And I passed out.
We had a
I was
ball.
talking with my sunglasses on. I felt so bad.
So to answer that fully, we will be on this channel for 2 hours tonight because Ed cannot live stream because he can't live stream from his phone because he doesn't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So there's the full answer to that. But it addressed something that we've been talking about anyways, which is, I don't even want to call it helping this guy out because that indicates that we're doing him a favor. He
does everybody
deserves
a
it
favor.
in my opinion. So I will move on from my rant there, if you will. Rockford Fish Keep says Fish Room Fever, and my chat just jumped on me because I'm getting further behind. I see a super chat I will get to in just a second.
Can I say one thing I would love to have in a 40 breeder?
Yeah.
There's a tank I would like to make someday. Yeah, because I want stalactites and stalagmites. And I want cavefish.
Ooh.
They are so cool. You know, they're about that big, and they got no eyes. That's not very good English. They have no eyes, and they move around and go everywhere, and they're super cool. And if you got I don't know which are stalactites. Stalagmites might get to the top. Stalactites are, I don't know. Well, but they go right around them. So it's like they got their spider senses. They're so cool.
And
So that's what I'd like. Instead of a normal light, I'd like to put just a blue light in there.
that would be very nice.
There
So
we go.
Chewy had made a comment about somebody setting up a hockey league, kind of like you have your fantasy football. So if anybody out there is interested in that, talk to Chewy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've played lots of fantasy hockey, so I'd love that.
And then we had Rockford Fish Keeping, says, Fish Room Fever and others, have you ever seen fungus kill so fast? 2 days ago, fish fine. Yesterday, seen some fungus. Today, more fungus, and it died a few hours ago. Never seen something like that. So the only thing that I've seen like that personally wasn't actually fungus. I thought it was fungus because I'd never dealt with it, and it was columnaris. But that's the only thing I've ever seen killed that quickly in my experience.
In the 80s, you saw like velvet and fungus. You saw all that stuff all the time. And actually, we see a lot less nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm getting hazed
But-
here by LRB and
Oh,
my wife. You see this?
Well, I'm about 7 minutes behind.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just now to Streetwise with the $5 super chat. It says hotel vending machine. I appreciate that, Streetwise. This guy right here was awesome enough. He hit the snack.
Some of the
Well,
stuff.
we're gonna be
we
on till
got.
12:30, guys. I got a sweet
Well,
tooth.
yeah,
and shit.
absolutely. Hit Streetwise, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everything you do to help out with the Fish Room Fever website to keep the
Streetwise a good guy.
stream times
He's
updated.
awesome.
It's very awesome.
So, but we have one so far. So we still need one more football player also. I'm just gonna keep pounding that till we get one more guy.
Right, absolutely.
Well, I offered to put Danny in it. You know, her and I
Yeah.
might have a couple of trades throughout the year.
Yeah. And what we can all veto them.
No vetoes.
It's already in.
The Grumpy Mike Scott Shelley's in one of his 40s. That is awesome. Fantastic Freaks has a flower horn parrot in a 40 breeder. Depending on the flower horn, that could be awesome. Thank you, Zen and other mods, for dropping the links. Trying to jump through here. Hello to all the new people, new faces. I appreciate y'all being here. Do you guys ever do shout outs? So we try at the beginning to say hello to everybody. It's a lot easier when we're sitting at our computers to be able to do it.
Yeah, I kind of gave up because it's so little.
This is not the optimal setup, but we weren't about to miss a stream just because we were on the road. Because people also tend to really enjoy the stuff that we do on the road. But yeah, so JP Pets, there's your shout out. I appreciate you being here.
Woohoo!
And I hope that we sufficiently answered your question earlier. Let's see.
You know, my favorite Father Fish had some really neat fish in his store too.
Oh yeah.
My favorite fish there, I didn't even see it at first. I thought it was a log, but it was a big. Father Fish says biker.
Mhm.
I say bisher, but you can say whatever you want because we're all cool. But he had one. I don't know how long. It was about the thickness of a
Yeah.
softball,
Yeah.
and there was a red-tailed catfish laying on top of it, and that's why I thought it was a log. And it turned out it's a big old bisher,
Yeah.
and the red tail was probably 12 inches
Yeah.
long, and it's just sleeping on this huge bite. It was so cool.
It was the cutest little cuddle session there. Let me get back up here. It was Chevy Fish said, some of my cave fish were mean when I kept them, but they were a neat fish. And we got Bob Kaler, Kaler's Aquatics. Thank you very much, my friend. Awesome member, moderator, and overall fishy pal with the $1 super pooper chat there. I appreciate
Super
you.
pooper.
Super pooper. I appreciate you crapping on the stream, Bob. Always a pleasure to see you. And I appreciate the hard work you've been doing in the chat as a mod as well.
And we'll be seeing him on Saturday. And if you live in the bi-state area or not, and you just want to travel to Tennessee, we're going to be hanging out with this guy at the City Cafe in Cleveland, Tennessee at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. So we're going to have like brunch. And the City Cafe is probably my favorite Chattanooga restaurant. So if you say you don't like cafe food, it's got everything. I mean, it literally has everything. And then when it comes to cakes, it's even got more. So
Yeah,
I
that's
love this place.
So I think sounds like I'm going to gain another couple pounds before I go home here.
You'll
Yeah.
probably gain 10.
Yeah. And I would
Yeah,
recommend
I love
getting an extra piece of cake for the road.
Oh,
That'll get you going. Fantastic Freaks with the $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. Awesome. Always showing love in here, and we love you for that. We love you just for being here. Says, if you built a plywood tank, how big would you make it, and what would you put in it? I'd love to build a big tank, 800 to 1,000 gallons for my boo puffer.
Ooh.
That would be awesome. That would be very, very cool. You all want to go first, or?
Well, we talked about me making a giant. See, I've got my fish room, and then I've got this big area next to it, and I thought about putting a great big plywood one in there, and I thought Dantanoids would be neat
Dantanoids are cool.
because they don't get enough love, and they look amazing. And if you had like a 2,000 gallon tank, it would be awesome. Or 1,600 gallons, I don't know, somewhere in there. I could do that in that extra room, and I think it'd be pretty neat. But I'm gonna save it for something else. But that was originally.
If I had a 2,000-gallon tank right now, there's only one species I would have, and that would be a stingray.
Okay.
I'd have a couple of nice, beautiful stingrays in there.
That would be, and we'll see. I'm gonna kind of mix because I would want to do an arowana, and I know that we'd have to, seal the top because they're jumpers.
Oh yeah.
But if I had something that big, I would have to do freshwater stingrays as well because
those
my
things are
youngest
cool.
one has hounded me for forever about a stingray, and we just don't have a setup that would be suitable for it to live in appropriately. So that would be my thing. So I guess almost a king of DIY setup, if you will, because he had the arowanas and the freshwater stingrays.
I love the stingrays, but I'm gonna probably have 2 feet of no glass at the bottom,
Right.
and it's just gonna be looking into another world.
Right.
How I would do it, so it's gonna be a window looking in, and I don't want to do stingrays because when I want to put like a tree in there and stuff,
Right.
and I'm gonna make it look all rocky, so it's like you're like going down a river and you're looking and stuff. I think that would be neat.
Sounds like you and Ed are going to be making a 2,000 gallons.
Yeah. And I do want to.
Well, he had such
I mean,
a
when he's
wonderful
telling you
idea.
what kind of plant and what kind of
Yeah.
wood is in there, you're going to be making a 2,000 gallon soon, Jake.
Oh yeah, and I guess we should have specified that I would definitely put a glass panel on it. I know you mentioned a plywood build, but I would have to
Gotta
put a
have the
glass
viewing.
panel on there.
Yeah.
Thick glass.
Sam Mouse 350 Twin said, "Hey Ed, our newest member there."
Hey there.
And then we got Grumpy Mike's Fish coming in with the $1 super pooper chat. Mike, I appreciate you, buddy. I enjoy talking back and forth with you in the comments on the videos. Thank you very much for that. Scroll through here. Lots of awesome people talking lots of awesome stuff. I think I'm to the bottom, and we've still got 87 people. I managed not to lose everybody trying to catch up with chat. So we made it to the bottom. If you've got questions, or if I happen to have missed something, which is entirely possible on the cell phone, please feel free to throw it in there. I will say, if you put @FishroomFever on there and highlight it for me, that makes it pop out and makes it a lot more likely for me to catch it if it does start to go wild again.
Well, it looks like while we were in that other questions, it looks like I've learned that I'm a proud owner of Red Mosaic
Guppies?
Panda Guppy or something she put.
Yes.
Is that a cool one?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I guess I'm an owner of it. I didn't know
Yeah.
it. She's been busy while I'm gone. And then, of course, LRB had to come in with, you got something even cooler coming. So I don't know what he did to me here. And
I want to I need to make another order with LRB.
oh, he's got
Well,
some.
you
Another drive up
go
there.
back to telling your story, and then I'll ruin it. Or not ruin it, but I'll.
Oh no,
not
that's
ruin
all.
it now.
That's all I noticed. That's what I
okay.
was. When I
Yeah.
told them, man, they're messing with me.
Well,
And then Candy's messing with me. They're all messing with me over these guppies now.
I
But I
got-
guess I do own some red mosaics now. I didn't know
Awesome.
it, but I got them.
that's awesome. I got 3 monster female orange shrimp. So I need to order maybe 8 or 10 orange
Oh,
shrimp
dude.
from LRB.
LRB's orange shrimp are off the charts sexy. Good looking shrimp.
Well, and I need some of them to woo some of the girls I've got.
Well, the thing that's cool about Lucas is he doesn't just send you all big ones, little ones. He goes through. I watched him because I was there for the shipping the other day.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, dude, it's so cool the way he does. He meticulously goes through like if he's sending you 10, he'll pop you a couple of cool looking bigger females that are probably going to spit for you. Or not spit, but bury. And then he's all these other different little sizes and stuff. So you get a nice little variety, so you're almost guaranteed to have male and female. I mean, he goes out of his way to make sure he gets you good shrimps.
And, you know, he taught me a trick, and I'm not going to show it or tell because he said that it's a trademark secret and he doesn't want people to see how he gets the fish. But I've been doing that, and it's amazing.
Right.
So I'm not,
Nice.
if you want to know, LRB has to do a show on that because it's so cool.
And guys, I will say one thing too. That pond, and that's all I will say, the stuff he's got going on is, I mean,
Yeah.
I sat in that, you guys remember when you're in that upper level that looks out to the back? I sat in that chair and I'm like visioning what this is going to look like when it's done. I mean, he's got
It's
some
gonna be
sick
amazing.
stuff on the way.
It is going to be awesome.
Somebody else next to my left here has some pretty cool stuff coming down eventually too. It sounds like.
There's a lot of things coming from
Excuse
a lot
me,
of different channels. So if you will, Bob says to take a shot every time I say if you will, because I say if you will a lot. Thanks for that, Bob. You're gonna have us.
All I got is energy drinks. I want to sleep tonight, so I can't take too many shots.
Sarah Lynn Snow, thank you very much. Said just subscribe to all y'all. We really do appreciate it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And we're glad you're enjoying it enough to do that. Petzotic / multiple aquariums. Diego, my buddy, how's it going?
Diego
With the $3.33 super chat says supporting 3 great guys.
Appreciate that, Diego.
Thank you very much, Diego. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, and he didn't know that Diego was from Chicago. I told him after he left Chicago, I was like, oh, you should have visited Diego. He was like, oh, I should have told him earlier.
So GRB Aquatics is saying, Fisher and Fever, have you eaten seafood yet? Yes, we went after
my God.
After we planted the plants at Father Fish's, before we went collecting, we went to an awesome seafood place, and I ate entirely too much. I got the triple entree with the flounder, scallops, and Gulf shrimp, and then the fries and coleslaw. But
and those hush puppies.
Yeah, the hush puppies were good. But I ate entirely too much, but it was amazing. I miss fresh seafood so much. But yes, we did. That was, yeah.
Well, what did you have?
I had the hogfish.
And that was really good.
And I had scallops and shrimp, and I ordered applesauce and coleslaw, and I got applesauce and French fries.
But you know what? I forgot that. Why did you say something?
But the French fries were pretty good. I'm trying to stay away from the fried food, so I'm trying not to eat French fries.
We've got One Dirty Plotty says, Fisher and Fever, dirted tank, 125 gallon. How much dirt did you put under a sand cap? So about 1.5 inches. That's usually what I do, is about 1.5 inches.
And I actually go an inch because sometimes you get some that go up a little bit higher, because I try to smooth it all out, but you never know. Sometimes there's just one bump, and you'll always see it at the front of the tank where there's one hump. And that one hump is, if you don't get enough sand on top, that's where your Cory cats are going to pull it up.
Well,
No, go ahead.
I like to use, you can get cat litter scoops from the dollar store. So I use that. That's like my substrate scoop. So I rake that across the top and get everything nice and level to try and help prevent that. So that can help a little bit. And 1 inch is perfectly fine. I usually go a little bit more just because I figure I'm hopefully never going to ever have to touch it again. So I just put that 1/2 inch in there and then cap it with a few inches of sand and be done and good. Let's see. I see mention of LRB's 18 Blue Dreams. They are amazing. So those are the ones that I got for that zebra pleco tank. I have been talking about those, and those of you that have been on the channel a while know I've been dying to get a hold of the 18 Blue Dreams, and I finally got them to go in that zebra tank, and I'm just in love with it.
Blue Dreams are gorgeous.
Well, look at that here. Bobcats Reef, how's it going? Says, hello, Fisher and Fever, Powell, Tennessee here. Yes, that is where I'm from. So, very, very cool. That is awesome. If you ever want to meet up, I do go to Aquatic Marine all the time, right there in Knoxville. So, I've met up with a lot of cool people there and looked at fish. That's always a fun time. Dragonler said, James, tell Ed to friend Robin Russell on Facebook. He posts videos of his blind cave fish all the time.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And lots of hellos and highs. Awesome people in here. Hattrick Farm. Griffin, good to see you.
There's the man himself, Father Fish.
All right. I can't wait to get together with you in the morning, Father Fish. I think I made it back down to the bottom without missing anything. Hey, Catfish Terry.
Catfish Terry in the house. How are you, sir?
Catfish.
Griffin Fish Room.
Yahoo!
Lots of awesome people. So yeah, so I am back at the bottom now. Bobcats Reef says that's where I go all the time. Yeah, Kenny, not just Kenny, but the Kenny that owns Aquatic Marine in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Kenny with an eye.
Yep, Kenny with an eye. He's a really cool dude. So awesome. It's always great to meet. Obviously we're in Florida now. That's how much we enjoy meeting other fish people. So it's always nice to add to the local fish fam. Let me see here. I don't know, how far did we get into your plans? Do you want to get into your plans even on where you're headed after you leave us? And
Well, after I leave you guys, some of it's been changed due to weather. We don't know exactly yet. Um, there's a young lady by Maine's Furs, Maine's Fin,
Fins and furs.
She had something else in there. But anyway,
Manx
Jess,
tails, fur and fence.
that's it. Jesse down in Louisiana. I mean, we have plans. It just depends on how badly they got hit. Their farm got a direct hit from that storm today, so I don't know if that's still going on. I was also going to be seeing the Zen Ginger. She's got a lot of stuff going on, along with the storms that have come in and all that, so that's been taken off as well. So I'm supposed to go see Big J, and unfortunately, more than 70% of California is on fire. So,
Yeah.
so I do have other plans. One of which is there's a place that my wife knows I love, and she's the one who reminded me of it. There's a place out in Arizona that I would love to go shoot. It's called the Cichlid Shack,
Ooh.
and all they do are African cichlids. So it sounds like a place I probably would dig. That's one place
I
I would
think
probably
so.
think about stopping.
Have you ever been to Carlsbad Caverns?
No.
Oh, it is really. I know it's not fish, but it's really neat.
I've never been to the Grand Canyon in the daytime.
Oh,
That's
really
another
cool
spot I was
too.
thinking I would, take advantage of and see.
Absolutely.
But I've got again, guys, I'm going to have looking like some open slots. If anybody's between Arkansas and somewhere between Oregon and Arkansas in this lower half, or maybe, an angle half, whatever, you could get a visit from Kenny E.
That would be very, very cool. So Father Fish is in here. For those of you that missed it earlier, maybe didn't catch the link, both Daniken Aquatics and Father Fish have video of me playing in the water earlier,
It was
looking
awesome.
like a fool, having a blast. So I'd appreciate you checking both of them out. Of course, Father Fish, awesome guy. Appreciate him hosting us and taking us out to do
We had a
it.
ball, Father Fish. Cannot
Yeah.
tell you enough how much we appreciated it.
Oh yeah.
And he has a great video today of us planting his tanks.
Yep.
Yeah, he did get a good video of Danny. I was planting plants today.
It was, and there were some. I'm going back to how cool these plants were. He had 2 plants that smelled crazy, and I don't mean like rotted.
Balapia. Oh man, how can I say it? Bacopia.
Nice
Is that right?
job.
Bacopia. I just remember I'm trying to.
There's something called mermaid.
Father Fish, am I right? Was it Bacopia that had the minty smell to it? Oh, Redfish Bluefish is in the chat. He knows what I'm talking about. too.
Hey, Redfish, Bluefish, how's it going?
Everybody's gonna. I ain't saying Bacopia. He says Bacopia. I hit it, man. Look at there. I learned something today.
He might just be a plant guy after all by the time he gets back home.
It gets you.
Shh, we don't want earthly
Yeah.
damages in this.
So,
Your guppies are gonna love that you're into plants now.
Oh my gosh.
we've got T-Bone saying, please help, my green moss tiger barbs have lost their bright green color. I'm not a tiger barb person. I'm not.
I've never heard of the greens losing their color.
Yeah.
normally once
So
they're
my
green-
guess is you might have an issue there.
Could
Because
they-
they're usually the only time they get real pale is if they're not feeling well.
Yeah,
So
stress.
Could they be
or-
getting cold? Would that make them pale? I don't know.
I would check my water parameters, even go with what Ed's saying. Throw a thermometer, make sure you got a heater that hasn't malfunctioned. But
Man,
generally
stress.
speaking, and I know from experience, when they start to turn pale, they're very similar to super red plecos, who they'll turn almost a pale white right before they die. Not saying that's happening to your fish by any means, but if your tiger barbs are turning pale, I would at least check your water parameters and make sure everything's looking good there.
Man, where was it? There's Candy's message. Said, James Largo of the Cichlid Shack is awesome. Sean is out of here. Sean 002D, have a good one. Says, okay, off to work. See you all later. And remember, everyone, set up a shell dweller tank. So I do want to, at some point, kind of talk about some ideas that you all would like to see for the fish room, since I do have over 30 empty tanks. Now, some of those have already got plans made for them, which you all will get to see in the near future. But I'd love to hear some of the things you'd like to see. Of course, we're going to have some Florida fish that are going back to go in some of those. But yeah, let me know what you'd like to see added to the fish room, Fever Fish Room. And then I've lost the other comment. Oh, Sarah Lynn Snow says, watching you play in the water now on Father Fishman. Yeah, I knew people would get a kick out of that. They love seeing crazy stuff like that.
I was waiting to see if he was going to grow scales for a minute, man.
So T-Bone says, but they seem to be happy. They're in a 34-gallon tank. Water is fine. If they're not stressing, trying to look see if anybody else has any other ideas.
Other fish are giving you a hard time.
Oh, Father Fish giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
We had to force James out of it. Yeah, they did. Father Fish said, okay, let's go. And I said, just one more. And then I got 2 more netfuls, and then I got out of the water. Yeah.
Guys, he was like a little kid. When we're making him get out of the water, he's dragging the net on his way out just so he can get one more netful on his way out.
Just let me get one more netful of fish.
The one time his bucket was sideways. And he's like, he's got fish. He's letting his fish swim away at the same time.
Yeah, the grass shifted on
because the weight of how many he caught had drained.
There were a lot. There were definitely a lot. So, back to the bottom again. All right, perfect. Yeah, it was. I could have stayed there for hours. But again, we had to get those fish
As
back.
I said several times, you were in your element.
I was definitely in my element. And thank you, Father Fish, for taking those back and getting them taken care of at the shop. So that we could come back here and get showers and all of that stuff and kind of rest a little bit for tonight's stream. Because we were definitely tuckered out.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I was definitely feeling it afterwards when I came down from that fish high adrenaline rush of being in there doing it finally.
Frank told me while you were out there, he was showing me a picture where he'd taken a picture, he said, just a baby alligator in that pond. And I'm thinking, it's a 4-foot gator that was in the pond.
And then Ed tells me that, and I'm like, that's fine, I got to get these fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
4-foot gator could have done some damage.
They could, but they
Well,
usually
that
don't.
was a few months
But you know what
ago.
would have been amazing? Could you imagine James' face if that would have been in the net? What do you think?
That would have been awesome. I mean, that would have been my. Let me grab this son of a gun here and
Flip
We
them
had a
over,
good
make
dinner
them,
tonight.
flip them over, make them pass out. I know how to wrestle a gator.
Gentlemen, I hate to do this as it's my stream, but I need to step away for a
Not a
second.
problem.
I know you all have awesome stories. And
I
things
will
to talk
say,
about.
Jesse at HC Aqua, I did get your message. Oh, I am so pumped, bro. You know I've been looking for those long fin rosies from Hawaii, and me and Danny will be gladly anticipating getting those. So I'm so pumped. Thank you for that message, my friend.
Jesse is super cool, and he's in the Fantasy Football League. And so
Jesse's
can you.
playing ball with us?
He is.
Oh,
He's a machine.
Here we go.
And we got one space. And it could be you.
If anybody wants to rival Jesse, myself, or Ed, we have one spot left.
We have Big J, Guppy.
Guru.
Nope, not Guppy Guru. The Mod Guppy. Mod Guppy.
Peter.
Sorry. Well, they're both Peters.
Oh, that's right. They are Peter.
That's why the Peter was throwing me off because I wanted to say Peter. And so I said, well, no, I'll go Guppy. And they both are Guppies. And then we got Pepling Creek. We have Scott and Paige. For,
Alien Equality?
Yep. Alien and Seahorse.
Yep.
And man, I'm sure there's somebody else that's freaking awesome, and I'm forgetting. But yeah.
Welcome to the chat, Big Tank Hank. Good to see you, sir.
Big Tank Hank.
Also, we got Susan for SLCs in the house.
Oh, Susan, and
Good day, GRB.
might begin to see her on Saturday.
She, I believe, is coming Saturday.
That'd be super cool.
The fish mom will be.
That is awesome.
And Susan, this place is got some awesome food, so come hungry.
Yeah.
Big pieces of cake. They
Mhm.
told me no less than
Oh.
2 feet tall.
If you get a turkey dinner, the turkey dinners are like this big.
Ooh, turkey dinner?
Yeah, they got everything.
So we did get a new nickname. I'd forgotten about it until I went and saw my water shoes in there. We all had to get water shoes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so we went to this little dive shop across the street from where we ate at, and the lady there aptly named us the Booty Boys.
The Booty Boys, that's right.
Yeah, we got matching booties, so
Yeah.
I figured I'd share that with you all.
Yeah, you guys can see I'm known for my booty.
And Father Fish is part of that group.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
like Charlie's Angels.
I felt so bad because we went to Father Fish's immediately afterwards so he could get the van to go collecting, and he left his at his store.
And you know what? I made a mistake. I should have got the cool shoes that Father Fish got. He kind of got like boot ones, and we got like these fancy pants ones that just fit on your like moccasins. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really cool. I mean, every water shoe I've ever gotten before like fills up and then they weight down and they fall off eventually. These suckers stay on tight.
Yeah.
They were a little more pricey than what you'd pay at Walmart, but the quality that's in them, I mean, they've got the actual like legitimate neoprene
And they're
wrapper,
comfortable.
and they are.
Yeah.
They really are comfortable.
8 times more you
Yeah.
try to pay it, but super cool.
Most definitely. Father Fish is asking if anyone has heard from Jess in Louisiana.
Yeah, I was just wondering that myself.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I haven't.
Didn't somebody say hi to her earlier?
No, she wasn't in there.
Okay, well, they probably don't have cell phones.
Streetwise saying soak those shoes in mouthwash.
Mouthwash.
And then Susan said there's a little signal in Louisiana right now. So you guys hear from Maine's Tails, Fur and Fins. If you'll relay that along, as most of you all know, the Fish fam, we're a pretty tight knit group of people. We all love each other. Obviously, this guy's going all around the country to meet other people. Catfish Terry says she could, so perfect.
Awesome.
Oh, good.
And that's one thing I love is that when we've had severe weather in Tennessee, we'll get messages. Hey, have you heard from this person? Are you okay? Everybody checks up on each other, and that's one of the reasons I love this community so very, very much. So I have made it through the things that I absolutely wanted to talk to tonight. Since I generally don't shut up and I don't let other people talk, do either of you all have anything that you'd like to bring out there?
I have something important.
Besides
today's
fantasy
date?
football.
No, besides fantasy football, but we do have one more spot. Funny that you said something.
Yeah.
We have one more spot.
One more!
No, what's today's date?
Today is, I'm going to try to guess. Let's see, what is it, Thursday?
Yes,
It is.
Thursday
Okay,
night,
so
yeah.
Actually, it might be
Monday's the
Friday
31st,
now.
Sunday's the 30th, Saturday is the 29th, tomorrow's the 28th. Today's the 27th would be my guess.
Yes, it is. And see, that sounds
And
horrible, but bear in mind the lack of sleep and
Yeah.
yes.
So I think that's 4 or 5 more days till the end of the month for Anabantoid month.
Yep.
So you guys, for Pasilia, we had probably 20 people
Mm-hmm.
ask us after the fact to put their entries in.
And we did not.
Danielle, I can't
Please.
put our entry in because you're at home, you have to do it.
You gotta do it, you guys. Please.
And we might have one.
And
I
it's
believe
fun.
The Samurai is considered one. Yes.
Oh, it is. All the grummies.
Yep.
And your paradise fish and
Betas.
your all your betas and betas or whatever. So
Beta.
The beta betas.
you know what? I've been saying it the right way so much, I'm actually starting to say it right. But I still feel it's the wrong way.
So the booty boy said your beta does count.
Yeah. But so, and you guys all know it, so we're not going to go through the 3 categories, photography, video, and art, because you guys already know that. And then we also aren't going to go that Rack is going to have the best to show, or his personal opinion,
Well, you
and then
guys
there's
got
the
some
best to show.
huge players in this for judges. I mean,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, we have, I mean, I don't know.
Good night, Father
Huge.
Fish.
We know-
See you in the morning.
Huge. Well, and we have James.
You got
I'm
James.
not
And Guppy
huge,
Guru. The super mods in Ginger.
Mhm.
The super mod that doesn't get enough credit that people don't know about. Lefty, whatever his numbers are behind his name.
3213A.
Ooh, very impressive. And he does a show on Fridays with me, and I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow because I probably won't be there.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock. Sorry, Lefty, I just realized. And then James and I, Rack,
Mhm.
and we've got our super special judge, which is Lisa from KG Tropics. So that is super cool.
Yeah, and a huge
Tropical.
Yeah, KG Tropicals. And a huge thank you to Lisa for bringing that up earlier to let people know about that, and for being a judge. That's very, very cool of you. And thank you to Lefty for talking to Lisa about that. But yeah, we had so many people that tried to enter afterwards. We just have really been trying to stress getting people involved in it before the deadline. Rockford, I will definitely check into those daffodil cichlids. I do want to say, because there was questions about, is it only on Facebook? So the group is on Facebook. You can go on there. You can look at other people's fish. You can post things on there. To officially enter, you need to send an email. And I would say somebody has probably already put it in the chat. But if not, there's an email. And the reason we did this is we're learning as we go. With Project Posilia that we did 2 months ago, poor Zen Ginger and Lefty had to go across 5 different platforms to try and find things that had been hashtagged for entry. So after them spending all that time trying to do that, we've decided that to officially enter, you need to send your photo or a link to your video, your entry to the email address. And that email address is, I don't want to say the wrong one because people will hear it and then, so I'm going to wait until a mod posts that.
Is Lefty one of your mods?
He is, but I don't think Lefty's in here tonight.
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah, I've been seeing
Oh
him.
my gosh, I need to blow my nose again. There's something in the air here that I'm allergic to.
But yes, so it will be, if you officially want to enter, you'll have to send that email. The Facebook group is a place, though, for everybody to hang out, share pictures, talk about everybody's fish, and kind of build the community, because that's really where this started. It started with Project Posilia, which was originally kicked off by Racket River Life. And it's a community building effort. It's, getting more people involved, spreading the love of these awesome fish. And there are a lot of great fish in there that are, good for people just getting into the hobby. So, there we go. It is projectanabantoid@gmail.com. I was thinking that was it, but I didn't want to say that and it be wrong and totally screw that up. So, if you want to enter, send your entry to projectanabantoid@gmail.com. And we will get you entered. Do we want to go into prizes, or do we even have a full list at this point? There are prizes, and Lisa touched on that.
Don't go into it
Okay.
because we don't know as well as Zen and Lefty and Guppy Guru. They're like our brains of the operation.
They really are. We're just
We're the pretty
faces.
faces.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there are going to be official winners and prizes and all that awesome stuff. So it
yep.
says lagging and titch. Keller's Aquatics says, what outreach does this project have? So it started with guppies, and it was to try and get more people involved with live bears. It's a really easy, guppies are generally a pretty easy fish for new people coming into the hobby.
Oh,
and
mollies
are. The mollies are, and then moving into the anabantoids, grammies are an awesome fish. It's not like, your cichlids where you've got to know compatibility or things that require really, really specialty parameters, if you will. And then part of it for me also is with the betas or betas, however you prefer to say it. Trying to understand that we don't want to keep them in little cups. Trying to raise that awareness as well in this particular mission. And then I'm hoping we'll have a shrimp 1 month. That's my hope, is to move into that. But
we're going to try to do one every 2 months.
Yep.
And I don't know if there's anything special. He was saying, I'm learning the Latin name for their family, which is amazing, because normally I can't say a single thing, and I can now say 2 different fish. So I have learned something. But doggone it, it's just fun.
it is.
We love our fish, and it's a way to show off your fish.
Feeling right.
And so there's nothing matter with just having fun, man. And that's how most people don't get to see your fish, because they're in your house.
Yeah.
It's not like your dog where you get to walk in a parade or something cool once a year. So
Absolutely. And really, why are we all here right now? We've got 71 people here, and then including us. We're here because we all love fish in general. So this gets you even more people that are more specifically focused, if you will, on fish that you keep. So it kind of narrows it down and gets you an even closer group of, we got betta keepers, or hey, you have these same gouramis too. Let me talk to you. I've noticed this. I've tried to breed this, things of that nature. It's just a way to bring the community a little bit more together, on top of just having some fun. Susan for SLC Aquatics, the fish fan mom. I can't wait to meet you. Oh, I said meet you. I can't wait to see you again. Saturday, right? Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Or is it tomorrow?
No,
No, tomorrow's
Friday,
Friday.
yeah.
We have 2 more days.
We will sleep
It's
eventually.
tomorrow.
We're gonna get sleep. I mean,
And if it's 11 o'clock tomorrow, we better leave now.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's 11. Yeah, you're right. It give us about 2 hours of sleep when we get there.
Well, no, actually, what we'll do is you guys can lay down for like 40 minutes. I'll wake you up.
Yeah, do it.
And we'll leave.
Deja vu, right, Jay?
This guy is an awesome alarm clock. Let me
Yes,
say.
he is.
But thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Susan. Says I can't wait to meet Kenny and see the gang again. Heart. Can't wait to see you again, Susan. It's going to be a blast, and I think we're going to have Bob Kaler there, right?
I hope so.
Right. I hope to
I
see you there,
believe,
Bob.
he said he'd be there Saturday.
Awesome. I haven't seen Bob lately, so that'll be awesome.
John Cox lives close by.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, John, if you know Cleveland, I don't know how far it is from your house, but Cleveland's a cool town, and can't beat the food and the great company. So
Well, the other thing I would say is you get to see Susan,
Oh.
James, Ed, Bob. There's so many great tubers in your area.
And has anybody like Katie living the dream?
Katie UPSer, I thought.
We wanted to make sure because she wanted to meet this guy,
Yeah.
so we needed to
we
make
need
sure
to
that
message
she-
her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
absolutely.
Knoxville person, so that's about an hour and a half drive. You know, everybody lives far away, kind of, but not too far. So we'd love to have you, Katie.
Most definitely. Says click the lurk. Bob was asking about outreach to new fish keepers. So basically, like I mentioned, the Facebook aspect of it is for the community. That's why we want to talk about it. We want to get people hanging out over there, even if they're not entering the contest. So maybe you don't have a betta that you want to enter, but you're curious about bettas. You want to learn more, or gouramis, or
Well, in one of the categories that I originally came up with, I really wanted, and turns out it's against the rules. I want to do a small fry category for kids. And it turns out that, doggone it, 18 and under, you're not allowed to do things like that.
Yep.
So we couldn't do a small fry category
That's too
to
bad.
get the kids into
Because
it.
I think they do it to where they can like make little tanks and they can do it that way, right? There's something out there.
Well,
He's talking about, but you know what? You got to be 18 or older. He's talking about my fish tank, my Flugel artificial fish tank I made, and I read the rules. I didn't look at the photos, and it was all little kids making them. But it said 18 and older, so I thought it was like an adult thing. But I made mine, and I submitted it. And Flugel did not post my tank on their website. So
You should have sent a picture of one of your nephews or nieces.
Well, Ed likes to win all the kids contests.
well, I'm entering again next year. Darn it!
I am
If it's-
too.
If I'm gonna the same one I'm entering until it's on their website.
So if you have a cute kid, that he can send the picture of the kid in along with his work.
Oh, you know what? I wonder. You know how they have all those things that make you different, like cartoons.
Yeah.
They might have a young one, and then I could put my face.
So we had a really good question. I think it was from it was from GRB Aquatics. Says, what saltwater fish are you most hoping to catch tomorrow?
I want to see these pygmy seahorses
Yep.
badly.
That's neat. He also said that there's toadfish,
Oh, I forgot about that.
and
Yes.
and
You
they're
seen those
pretty
before?
cool.
Yeah, we don't want to step on those.
Ooh.
Yeah, but the pygmy seahorses, that's the same thing. He mentioned those, and I'm like, I've
And the
got to see.
pipefish.
Yeah, and the
Pipefish would be
pipefish.
cool if you can get a pipefish.
Gotta
And then he
see.
said there are some bull sharks too.
Awesome.
Well, I can be looking out for those while you guys collect again.
And it wasn't a good place to do it earlier, / I had already muddied up the water too much before it occurred to me, but I'm going to get some underwater footage tomorrow while we're out there, so that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
So were
This
the
water
ice-
will be more
Are these
clear and
ones
less smelly.
waterproof too?
Should be. I'll look at what you've got after we get done, and you should be. But, so,
I'd love to know that too.
I know yours is. So, yeah,
Oh.
you might have underwater footage from everybody tomorrow, which would be very cool, because I don't think any of us have underwater saltwater footage on our channels and so forth.
Yeah, that's different. I don't
Yeah.
own the
Oh.
saltwater tank, so that's
No,
gonna be.
yeah.
I won't be taking my phone. I'll lose it.
Oh.
But I'd like to be able to stick my phone under my fish tanks or my fish,
Yeah,
my guppy
absolutely.
ponds or something. So sorry, no, I will lose my fish or my phone in the ocean if I take it in the ocean.
Streetwise is asking, what is it like to go to an aquarium convention? Do you feel rushed to see everything? I've only gone to tech stuff like Macworld. So I personally have only gone to the big fish deal in terms of any type of, and that's not even like on the scale of, aquatic experience or Aquashella. Um, but yes, definitely for that. But it even comes down to the level, and you can definitely attest to this, of just going to see people's fish rooms. So like when we went to LRB's was the most recent we went to, there just was not enough time to absorb everything. I'm still like dying to go back up there and see it again. I mean, even with going up there, looking at it, basically shopping from the tanks there, still didn't film it all because it was, do I want to film it or do I want to actually enjoy it and get an opportunity to talk to Lucas and take the time that way the first time meeting him. So definitely it seems like anything where you're going away from home and there's a time constraint on it,
Yeah.
it feels rushed. It feels like there's always so much, I wish I had done this, or I wish we hadn't missed that.
Right.
Can I go though with the aquatic experience?
Mhm.
I think either it's it used to be a 3-day. I think they lowered it to a 2. Well, now it's not. But you could actually do everything, I thought, and it was great because you could meet all the YouTubers. You know, I got to meet everybody and shake their hands, and that was really neat. Except for Priscilla, she snubbed me. But I got to meet everybody. It was really cool. I got to hang out. It was so neat because, like, Luca, is it Chris Luca? Am I saying that right? The Shrimp King. He hung out with me probably for an hour and just shrimp. That was where I first met Sean Peck, and I got to hang out with him for probably an hour at their booth because it's not like, a comic book convention or a toy convention where there's literally thousands of booths. It's a fish convention, so we aren't that big. So maybe there's 50 booths. So, but you might miss some of the shows. Like Corey might do a speech on puffers or something, and maybe Joey will do a DIY thing. So every hour there might be a different speech or thing. Then they have they try to pack it so there's stuff to do, but I think it's actually the big conventions aren't big enough that you can't catch everything really.
Right.
So
Well,
that's pretty neat.
it is. To add to that, it also, I think, ties into what your personal preference is on why you're going. In terms of, are you going to get content and footage? Are you going to experience the show? Are you going to meet other fish people / for the camaraderie? So even, like, for example, because, Big Fish, there was plenty of time to look at all the tables and everything. But for me, when I say there wasn't enough time to hang out with those people. It always seemed like it was just rushed and it was done. It was like...
We were working it, though.
Yeah.
that was a difference for that. We worked the whole time almost. I didn't buy anything until everything was sold out. Until the end of the day. And, I got great deals, but boy, I wish the other YouTubers there were bringing back some awesome stuff, and I'm sitting at the YouTube table, and they just keep putting mounds of fish around me, and I'm like, what? And I just ran around in circles, it seemed like the whole day doing stuff. But that's basically a one-day event. So.
Yeah, so it is 11 a.m. at City Cafe, Cleveland, Saturday, because Bob's wanting verification.
Yep. We're going to try to do it early because he's got to get on the road.
Yep.
But we don't want to do breakfast.
And that's one thing, you can certainly speak to that, if you will, with going everywhere. I know you've mentioned to me there's just not enough time,
No, there's not. The thing is disappointing, guys. I'll tell you some of the things I've missed that are really crushing me right now. I had an opportunity to go to Jim Cartwell's home and shoot his fish room, Jeremy Bosch, and Rusty Wessel and I wasn't able to fulfill those, which really, I want to do this again in like 2 years when I got more time. Where it can take like 2 months maybe to do it. I don't even know if 2 months is enough. I don't know. But what James was saying is absolutely true. I mean, at Lucas's place, you know, I didn't have nearly the time. First day was shell shock. Oh, this is cool. And then you go to a tank and leave it, come back, and there'll be 3 other fish. You didn't see it in the first time.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just. So I guess what I'm saying, if you're going to do something like this, make sure you give yourself 2 months, maybe even 3, is probably what you need in reality. Where you can really give yourself. I would have liked to spend at least another week with these guys, because we got some stuff done while I was here, don't get me wrong, but we definitely would have liked to not been as rushed.
Right.
Well, you haven't even got to meet Bob yet.
Yeah.
I still haven't met Bob.
Yeah.
And we're not even discussing going to my fish room because there's not even time to think
Well,
about it.
I don't know, man.
It's
We
an
might have
hour
to. I
away.
might have to figure it out.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take?
It would add 3 hours on plus the time you spent
Oh,
there.
my God.
So yeah,
It really is the opposite direction.
it is. It would probably put 4.5 hours on.
Okay, does anybody live near James where I could add a couple more to it? Danny? Okay, I'm just teasing, guys.
But yeah, and Mate's Tails, Fur, and Fins did pop in and say everything's
Awesome.
good.
Oh, good to
She's
hear, Jess.
tired and going to bed. Get you some rest, Jess.
We're glad you're all right.
Glad you are safe. And just thanks for checking in. Glad you're okay.
Yeah, we haven't been able to watch any news. Did the surge really go 40 miles, or do they always just scare everybody with that type of stuff? Because last time I watched the Weather Channel, they said it was going to be a maximum high tide plus the hurricane, and they said it was going to be 20 feet high, and that would possibly go up to 40 miles inland in different areas. And so I don't know if that actually happened. We have no idea. We have not had a chance to see any news whatsoever.
So Sin Mouse is asking what my Amazon site is. So if you go to fishroomfever.com and go to page 2, I've got affiliate links for products that I recommend, such as the gimbal and mic and things that I'm using to do there, as well as a lot of fishy stuff. And that really does help me. It doesn't cost you anything extra to do that, but once you click on one of those affiliate links, even if you're going to buy paper towels on Amazon, if you click on one of those links first, say it's for fish food, and then you go buy your paper towels, they cut me a very small percentage. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does add up, especially when a lot of people are doing it. And it really does help the channel. So that's a great way to support that is free of charge.
Yeah, if you want to buy something big, you can put that on there, and you would actually get a percentage. Sean Peck had somebody buy a car off of Amazon.
Yeah.
With his.
So
he said that was a big one.
Yeah. that is always very much appreciated, because what I do is I actually have it set up to where I get a gift card versus a cash payout. So I take that and I put that stuff right back into trying different products and other things that I can then either recommend or say, hey, don't buy this. Case in point, don't buy the generic Amazon heaters, and that pretty much covers all of them. I've yet to find a generic Amazon heater that I would trust. So it just repeat process on that. See, Bob had mentioned, sorry that you couldn't see the fish room. Doesn't let people in with these old sick dogs. We're having lunch 5 minutes from Bob's house. Yeah, so that should be an easy drive for you. Yeah, I've never been to Bob's house.
I've been to his house.
The mailman is allowed to go in Bob's house. Remember that one?
Theoretically, I've been in Bob's house because I've been in his garage. But the dogs started to have a heart attack when I shouldn't say that. That sounds horrible. They started spazzing out just by me going in the garage, and I felt bad. But it was pretty cool because he took some of the dogs that were less stressed out by people, and I got to pet them. That was cool. And then Bob has this. He works, and he's like in charge of a place called the Ark in Cleveland, and it's a dog and cat. Would it be shelter? Is it shelter right or rescue? I don't know.
She's on one today.
It's super cool. And if you super chat Bob, he gives all that back to the Ark.
Yep.
So
And we do also have a link for the ARC on fishroomfever.com, so you can go on there and make a donation, because it is a 501c nonprofit organization. So that's a very good cause on there. Priscilla, I'm not ignoring your questions. I've only seen one question. Everything else has just been comments. But Priscilla MK did have a question that is now up here because she asked why I didn't read it. Did you guys go with 2 cars? No. So, well, he can
We
tell you
just made
since
him
he's the driver. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we drove my F-150. There's plenty of room for 4 adult men.
Yep.
mm-hmm. And that's
But
my
in this case, it was 3 adult men and all of our stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
then
Father Fish was in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We threw it. Oh, it's up here. I was freaking out about my luggage. Did we put it in the truck? And I remember we brought it up here because we're in our room now, right?
Yep.
All right.
It's actually behind you. That's what I put the lamp on.
Oh.
I wanted something a little taller.
Yeah. Ed was awesome about getting the studio section set up tonight in a way that he thought would look cool.
We've rearranged this whole.
Yeah.
We
The
have a
maid's gonna
couch.
come in and say, like, what
Yeah,
happened?
the couch is blocking off the
It's
whole other
wedged.
side of the.
We got beds thrown on walls. I mean, we got stuff all of it.
We at least wanted to make this look semi-decent for you all tonight, though. So we've got about 16 minutes by the time you all hear this with the delay. So, any final questions? Feel free to throw those out if you're interested in what Kenny's got going on with his trip. If you want to ask Ed about his fish room and upcoming videos that he's putting out, hopefully.
Yep. Oh, I almost had him video for me yesterday.
Yeah.
That would have been a pretty neat.
And then we played bubble
Oh,
hockey instead.
yeah. We ended up. That was the first time he's ever played bubble hockey, and we ended up playing bubble hockey way too much that day. Did you get to play bubble hockey at all?
You guys left me
Oh.
out. I didn't get to play the bubble hockey game.
We'll skip Father.
So
Fish and
I
we'll
just thought about
bubble
what was
hockey
said here.
Forget
Ed.
tomorrow. We're just gonna go straight.
I can't shoot his fish room before he shoots his own fish room.
Well, you can shoot it. It's gonna take you 5 weeks to edit your stuff.
Well, and you're
5 weeks.
You're at the back end of the editing
I
trail,
know.
so it's going to be
That's-
at least
Oh, maybe
2
8
months,
weeks.
3. Yeah.
It ain't gonna be that long, guys.
He's been all worried about this today, so.
See what they're giving me a hard time for. I wanted to just do my same old normal stuff, put them out there, raw and unedited.
Yep.
Boom. But then Danny threw the curveball. She wants them.
You may not believe this, but I actually have videotaped 2 of my fish room things on here. I just haven't made. Oh, I ran out of power.
Well,
Well, I have 2 little things that I did video before you guys even said anything, and I just haven't made a thumbnail for it.
Guys, what you see with Ed on these live streams, I'm going to tell you, it's even more hilarious in person, okay? Ed is a very funny guy to be around.
Well, I guess thank you.
yeah, absolutely. No, and I bring both of them up because, again, I would like to ask you all, if you're still here, we got 67 people watching, and I don't even know how many thumbs ups because that's not going to close. 93 thumbs up, so y'all killed it. Y'all killed it. If you're coming in late and you missed my plug earlier, check out both of these guys' channels, especially, and this is not to slight Kenny in the least, but especially Chattanooga Ed, because he's under 1,000 subscribers,
He
which is
deserves
why
it.
we're not on his channel right now. We should be on his channel, but he can't go live on his mobile. So please help me out to get him what I feel like he deserves. And let's get him where he can do some mobile streams, because then you'll get a lot more cool stuff when he's out on the road. And we go on the road a lot.
We do. It's a lot of fun.
It really is. Somebody asked what bubble hockey is. Ed, would you like to explain?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have always loved bubble hockey, but I was a hockey player my whole life, and I loved it. When I hurt my back, they said I'd never get to play hockey again. So my mom bought me a bubble hockey table, and it was so sweet. But I moved to Chattanooga, and I don't know anybody, so I've just had this bubble hockey table all by myself. So I took advantage of James there to play bubble hockey. And I should have taken advantage of this guy. Sorry. Well, it was so late. So, Yes, bubble hockey is really cool. It's like if you go to the north, it's probably in every bar. It costs like 50 cents. Every ice rink normally has a bubble hockey table in it. And you got your little guys, and they're hockey players, the full team. I painted all my guys. They were originally Boston versus Montreal, and I painted them also with Blackhawks versus Blues. And, but yeah, that's bubble hockey. It's kind of like foosball, but on a hockey table.
And it's got a plastic bubble over it.
Yeah.
So you can sling that thing and it doesn't fly.
And it
off.
has a horn that goes. Nyeh. I know Chewy knows what bubble hockey table or bubble hockey is. He's probably saying, "Oh my gosh, you're not saying it right."
Bill Witt said, maybe see you at 9 a.m. at Father Fish Show. Are we seeing Bill Witt tomorrow?
I didn't know about that.
I don't know. I don't think.
Are we supposed? What, I don't
Are we
know.
live? Maybe Father Fish set up a live stream, possibly.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
But Bill, if you're there,
Yeah.
super cool.
We're down.
Yeah, we're meeting Father Fish, I think, at 8 a.m. at his shop. And then we're going to head about an hour away to, well, I don't know if we want to say where, but to the saltwater collecting. Yeah, to a place with fish in water with high salinity.
We don't know where. We're just going.
Well, I know the city, but I don't know if
Oh.
I should just, like, broadcast that to the world since it's not, our collection spot,
Yeah.
Puckstank says, now I want to play. Yeah, Ed kicked my butt at bubble hockey. I won the first one, and after that, he just murdered me.
Because he was probably luring you in.
Dragon Lair, have a good night. Yeah, he was trying to play me for a fool, saying he hadn't tried that setup yet. You get through here.
I had though. I've literally had that thing for 2 years and not played.
Wow.
No, okay, all right. I'm caught up. I'm gonna try and pull up the list of super chats so I can say thank you to everybody appropriately. Normally, I have this on my computer. James celeb stalkers keep it a secret. Yeah, I can't have all the paparazzi and everything showing up to try and to film me, wrestling with bull sharks and all that kind of stuff. So
We don't want the Googans out there.
yeah,
I'm going to be out there with my snorkel gear. I'm going to have some fun tomorrow.
so
And that's when James will pull out his bikini top
yeah, absolutely.
that he didn't bring out now.
I got a really nice sequin
shells.
two-piece to wear tomorrow for collecting since I didn't have any swim trunks. So
Oh, Lord.
that's gonna be awesome. But no, I'm glad it's almost over because I think we're all draining down again.
Yeah, now I got that mental image in my head, and I got to go to sleep, and
Yeah.
I'm going to have nightmares.
Well, just watch last week's live stream. You'll see him.
Yeah, and John, I was gonna make a
With a
joke
bolo.
about that. I do the petting prawn. I'm gonna do petting bull sharks tomorrow. John Cox says, James, on that note, be safe as fish like taking bites of you. So the piranha bite is doing great. I've been able to do everything I need to.
We don't even need that mojo. I don't even want to talk about that mojo where there's bull sharks. We're just going to talk about them again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my biggest fear, honestly. With my first thought was I can stick my phone underwater even if I don't have goggles. My biggest fear was pulling it out and looking at the footage, and there's like all these sharks that I'm not seeing. I'm like, uh-oh.
My nephew has the best footage ever. He was doing like this cliff diving, and he was diving off, and he was in the water, and he had his GoPro, I think it was either strapped to his head or his chest, and he's underwater, and he's going like this, and then he looks, and there's like bass in a circle, and they're all lined up. It's so weird. They're not all over. They're all lined up in a circle, and you hear them scream underwater because it's so freaking. They're like made a perfect circle. And he goes, "Oh!" And he's he's a buff army guy, and it freaked him out. I should get him to
Bass
give me
make him
that.
scream like a little. Oh, wow.
He said it just was so freaky having just 50 bass in a perfect circle.
Checking him out. They're like, what the heck is this?
But you'd think they'd be at different levels and what, but no, it's weird.
Picture if something come crashing through the ceiling at us, right? What are we gonna do? We're probably gonna make a circle. Who are you?
I'd probably start stomping on them. If it came from the ceiling. Well, not if it was a human. I was thinking aliens. And you shouldn't stomp on things if you don't know what they are.
Absolutely. So I do want to say real quick, yes, Sandmouse was a new member as of 1 day ago. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. I do really appreciate that. Let me get the super chat list pulled up. This is fun trying to do it on the phone because it tries to tell you not to do it there. Let's take a look here. All right, we have got. Hey, I can zoom that up there. Grumpy Mike's Fish, Chris with multi-tank addiction, Miss Fever, thank you. Look forward to getting home and seeing you Saturday night. Moonstone Aquatics, Streetwise, Kaler's Aquatics pooping on the chat, Fantastic Freaks, Grumpy Mike's again, Pet Exotic / Multiple Aquariums. And in case I missed Moonstone, I think I said Moonstone, but Moonstone once again with that $25 super chat. Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you all for the thumbs ups. And of course, moderators, can't thank you all enough. You all do an amazing job at helping out and giving us a hard time. We appreciate it. I'm going to let these gentlemen have a few moments to talk about their channels and say their thanks, and then we will wrap it up because we've got about 6 minutes, and then we're all going to get some sleep.
I want to thank Father Fish for having us out here.
Yeah, it was a ball.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be having fun down here. I mean, we'd be having fun somewhere else, but this is amazing fun. And he's being so gracious. I mean, he's taking time away from his work to hang with us. And it's super cool to be able to talk to him and see his deep sand beds all over the place.
Right.
You know, he was saying, was it 20 years or 10? He's got some really seasoned ones. It was really neat seeing that in action. And also thank you all you guys for watching us. It's a lot of fun. And the mods, you guys do an awesome job. And Kenny, it's been so much fun having you here.
It's been a ball, man. Like I said,
thank you for bringing us.
Yes.
We've had a good time this trip. This has been fun. So my catch line's always the same. As always, guys, love your fish. Again, thank both of you. It was an absolute ball. I can't wait till we can get together again. Maybe next time you'll come out my way.
I'm hoping to. We're working on that. We want to get out and tour that area out there.
You guys will dig it. Bring your wives, whatever. Or
I'll bring my cats.
There you go. James, bring your wife. Bring Ed.
Bring the cats so they can walk in front of the camera.
Absolutely. I love that.
But yeah, it's been a great time, man. Absolute ball.
So I do want to say real quick before we go, and before I finish the thank yous, somebody mentioned they might possibly stream right now because we have Dave's doesn't start for another hour and 4 minutes by the time you see this after the lag. I think it might have been Aquaballs. If there is somebody that's about to start streaming now, let us know. We'll be happy to drop a link. We've got 61 awesome fishy people hanging out right now that I'm sure wouldn't mind a little bit more entertainment. Aquarium Cop says, allegedly at Aquaballs is live next. Let's rate him with hashtag booty boys. There we go. I like that.
As always, the cop comes with a great
Yeah,
one.
I thought somebody would get to that. Oh, and I almost forgot, and I've been really good at not forgetting. Tampa Tom Fishing, I appreciate you watching the replay. Same with you, CJ Black. Y'all always leave me comments and watch every single replay. Thank you very much for being here in spirit after the fact. I'm going to wait till we get a link for him before we end this. It's been awesome. I appreciate you all. Next week we will be back in our studios, if you will, at home. So we'll have kind of a more lined out stream and all the crazy party poppers and all that fun stuff.
Now, we've got to say one thing I'll say, guys. I need 5 people to hit the like button on the way out. Let's get James and even Hunsky.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That is super cool.
Let's see. There we go. There's Aquaball's channel link right there. We don't have a live link up, but if you go over there and check that out, you'll see him go live. If he goes live, and throw that hashtag booty boys in there, like
Hashtag booty boys.
So again, just real quick, thank you all the members, the moderators, the super chatters, the lurkers, the listeners, the contributors. Of course, this guy right here for bringing us Father Fish. Just the whole fish fam. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And this is going to be a funny intro because I'm going to have to do it and then walk around the camera to stop this. But until next time, keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy, catch yourself a little fish root
fever.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.